how it works and the things that you need to make sure that you have documented is beneficial to everyone. And the biggest thing that this is going to do, aside from the fact that you have to, I mean, if you want to help clients and make money, these are processes that you have to follow. But in the big picture, what it's going to do is it's going to help protect you in your business, because the more that you have documented through the process of helping your clients, the more beneficial that's going to be for client reviews in the future, the more beneficial it's going to be if there's ever any concern about why did you recommend a certain product, or if your client has questions or a regulator has questions, then you're going to have it all right there, and that is going to protect you. So a little bit of extra time right now will make a big, big difference for you down the road. And I encourage you to look at it in a way that you just make all of this, and again, most of you, if you've already done this, but you just make it part of your processes, and you teach your teammates to do it when they're licensed and they're helping their first clients, and then it's normal, and it's just not a big deal. I do want to make a comment that it is important to differentiate. The insurance review team is not compliance, right? I know that sometimes our reaction when we get those types of emails, that it feels a little bit intimidating. But at the end of the day, insurance review is not compliance. They're just trying to help make sure that you're doing everything in a way that if compliance ever does need to get involved in anything to do with any of your clients, that you're going to be okay, right? So, but just keep in mind, it's not, it's not something to be scared of. It's not something to be, and typically if you don't have every single one of your ducks in a row, the first insurance review request that you get, they're going to guide you in the direction of everything that you need, but everything is going to be okay, right? So you kind of get, maybe I shouldn't say it this way, but you kind of get one free pass, basically. But you get that free pass, and then you have no excuses moving forward. So you might as well just do it right off the bat. But just the message is, I just want to encourage people, don't be intimidated, don't be scared, work together with them. And at least for your first sort of, file or two, you're not going to get into a ton of trouble if you're missing one thing here, you're missing one thing there. Better yet, just don't miss anything. But the message is, don't be scared, and make sure that your teammates are not that, not intimidating either. So if Ben gets a text message from one of his agents kind of panicking, going, I got an insurance review on one of my files, Ben's immediate reaction should be, hey, it's not a big deal. I'm going to help you through this. Let's get together. Let's figure it out. Because the way that you handle those types of, situations when they come up is going to impact the way your agents handle. Right? Does that kind of make sense? Yep. So Nadia, thanks for being here with us all the way from Eastern Canada, Montreal or Toronto or Toronto home base. And Nadia is also an example of the way that WFG is investing in all of us to help us grow our businesses and run better businesses, because WFG has been hiring a lot of people for the role that Nadia has and other similar types of positions to help us all be able to do a better job of running our businesses. So thank you very much for being here, and take it away.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for being here. Yes, I had to pass the test with Greg last time before he let me in. And I'm very happy to be here. This is my first time to come to Calgary. Yesterday we came to, Calgary was there.
Everyone turn your Wi-Fi.
We are in Edmonton today.
Oh, turn your Wi-Fi off on your phone.
So, and Greg pointed out a lot of things that I'm happy he did, because yes, our job and my job here is to make things easier for you guys. And for those who don't know me yet, I've been with WFG for a year now, and I've been in the insurance industry. Got on it by accident about 10 years ago when I moved from US to here. So yeah, and I've been liking it. So business productivity consultant, they called me. I'm just a field trainer. It's a fancy name for nothing. But my job again is to help you this way.
Oh, you might need to. Yeah. You're good now.
Okay. So, as a business productivity consultant, I cover the Western Canada, BC, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and Quebec, because I speak French, obviously. And, sorry. Yeah, so these are the domain in which I train in general, like new agent orientation. So if your team is growing and you have new agent, let me do the job for you, okay? Send them to me, I will train them. Overview of the FNA, RightBridge, if you're doing investment engagement platform that most of you, I think, don't know yet, but it's CRM on MyWFG. It's not a dynamic one, but it still helps to create a client file. You have social media. Yes, we don't have, what was that again? The one that we shut down last August? The marketing platform on MyWFG. No. Huh? No. Campaign manager. Yeah, we're still working on it to get something similar. But for right now, we have social media, a couple of templates. Also on the menu, if you don't know them, then I can show you on another training, one-on-one or in a group. So website setup for the new agent or yourself. I know many of you still have that YML thing, like the old websites. So if you still have that, please reach out to me and we update it. Okay, so also for the launch of WFG for new agent. Interest guide and best practice is what we're going to focus on today. Right, so here though, you can scan that QR code and you can get on that link or copy the link. That's where you have from some update from the regulatory about, you know, the new things. They're updating things all the way every time. So once in a while, you can just get onto it and see what is changing there. But basically what we want here is for you, I mean, for agents in general, to master their business, you know, to be fair with the clients, you know, give them product to their, that meet their needs, not only for our pocket, you know what I mean? And also providing accurate information, minimizing the risk. Risk is something that is a big thing right now. That's why we see us in the field. We're coming to offices because we have a lot of risk. We have a lot of issues with insurance laws, so we have to fix those. And also preventing, protecting the privacy of customers and of course, providing high quality service to them. That being said, why are we doing this? Why the WFG is investing in hiring more people and doing, you know, prevention and doing the pilot review? It's because they started actually this pilot review back in 2022, for those who don't know, but the result was not great. Okay? Greg doesn't like this slide because he said it's too negative, but I have to say we have to be aware of that. What happened is we targeted 1,200 agents, and then we wanted to review their file and see what are they doing in terms of quality. So as you can see, we only end up reviewing 749. So 62% of those files that we're able to review. Why? Because you'll be surprised some agents were not able to provide client files. And if they have to provide some of them, it took them up to 6 days to provide client file, which is not good. Because if you are organized, a day is enough for you to provide Mr. Xavier's file, because you have organized it, you know, before you have everything in place. Not only it took them so long to provide the file, only 10% did the right thing, which means 10% of those client files were reviewed were in good order. 90% were all over the place, missing information. You know it. So many issues, those 90%, many of them lost their license, many of them resigned. Some of you know the story, but we don't want that to happen anymore. That's why throughout last year, 2023, and still now, the focus is compliance, sales package, every time, every time. So forgive us if we are on your back, but you hear all the time, sales package, compliance, we have to do the right thing. We have to make sure that everybody is doing the right thing, especially if you are SMD, that you're replicating it to your team and they're doing the right thing as well, right? So don't hesitate to reach out to me if you need to review anything in your portfolio or in your management of doing your business. That being said, Greg mentioned the RP department, which is a review department, right? So actually in Quebec, for example, the team grew so they are like 7 now there. They are not the compliant itself, but they just here to review all the application and everything that you guys are doing as a business. And when what are their objective? Again, is to reduce the risk. And when they identify a risk somewhere, then they send us we do more trainings, right? I'm not here because there is something wrong here in Calgary at all. We've been proactive, right? But again, they review everything and they make sure that everybody's following the process. That being said, who do they reach out to? They will reach out to you if you're newly licensed. You can be licensed last week. They might call you this week and say, hey, we want to see what you review your file. Don't be afraid of that. They just make sure that you acquire the right habit from the beginning, okay? They can reach out to you 3 months later. It doesn't matter when they reach out to you, but you're still on their list. Wait for their call. They will pick you out of the blue, right? So if you also in provinces where, what do you call it again? Supervision is mandatory, like BC, Manitoba, Quebec. Huh?
It's on your slide.
Yeah, I know.
Bent over.
Reading. I don't like to read too much. So if you've been promoted SMD, then yes, you're still on their list because they want to make sure that you're going to duplicate good manners and good habits to your team. And if you have a rough, fast, like permits and criminal, they also reach from time to time to you to make sure that you are on the track and you're going to do the right thing from now. So when they reach out to you, what are they looking for? What are they expecting? This is what you have in a client file. This is all the document, mandatory and best practices that they expecting to see in a client file. I know you guys are aware of this, but the repetition is key, okay? And also from time to time, we update information. That's why we have to come back every time to talk about it. So what are they expecting to see? Let's say they ask, I want to see Xavier client file. They expect him to see a financial need analysis, an agent disclosure form, a reason for a letter, illustration, replacement declaration form, a proof of supervision if you live in those provinces where it's mandatory, an application form, whether it's electronic or paper, a meeting notes, a delivery receipt. So delivery receipt is mandatory in Quebec, but not for the rest of Canada. So, but it's still best practice, and I think everybody should be doing that. This is just a reminder of the training you have to take once a year, and it's on training center, and you get a notification 90 days before. So do it on time, always for the last minute. And for those who are not aware of the sales package, this is how it looks like, and this is the front page, and we have all the mandatory documents and best practices. So we're going to go through it one by one, but just overview now. We have the FNA, the reason why letter that we're going to discuss later on, agent disclosure form, etc., etc. Where can you download the illustration? Where can you download the sales package? It's on menu, the menu tab. I don't know if you can see from here. This is clear enough, but you can take a picture or you can, yeah.
On that sales package,
Yeah.
when you download it, it's all into one document and it's locked. So you can't separate it. And if you print a PDF to try and separate it, it doesn't become fillable PDF anymore. Is there a way around that?
Good question. I hear some people saying that they convert it to. Is it a Word document? But also you can, when you do the search on menu, tap just, let's say you're looking for the disclosure form. When you type it on the search engine, you should have that. They have it separate on the menu tab. I can find the right way, I will show you, but you have it separate here. And yeah, of course, you can download it here. You have the French version and then the English version. And I will send to, I think I sent to Greg the last version, but I will send it to him again. And you guys can get it from him, or you can send me an email if you don't have that. So again, these are the contacts of the RP department. Okay, the review team, get their email if you can. And the compliance, I don't suggest you go there, but you can go to the RT to ask them any question you have. I don't think it's a good idea to show yourself to the police. Right? So thank you for, this is just the overview now. I'm going to switch to the actual Salesforce, the document itself, and yeah, this is I just need to go to the first page. You all have the sales package, right?
Yeah.
Do you have the latest version? I think it was end of January that they changed a few things on it. And they are working on it to change it. Maybe you see me again.
I think that's just a document, Nick.
Yeah,
No, but she will share it full screen.
Bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah.
take Xavier. I can see.
That's gonna be.
Where it
You want
has
it this
the
way?
46 on the bottom, if you scroll it down.
The percentage. Yeah. 4,000%. I think it's better. That's pretty good.
Is that gonna work?
I think so.
Why has to be?
We'll figure it out.
You need to see, what, you need to see me?
Oh,
No.
it doesn't matter if they see it or not, it's the way it's sharing.
Uh,
They can see it on the screen.
But can you put it to the first page? That's the last page, please. Can I see you? No.
Visions should work.
You know.
Okay. I'm looking so wrong. My son is like, Mommy, I told you. I'm like, yeah. All right, so, the first page didn't change. What changed from last year is just this second page for supervision, where you have more details, like they brought all the mandatory lines or document, they put it on the supervision form. So you have to do it, you obliged to do it now, and if you don't, you have to explain why you didn't do it. Okay, so if your agents are on supervision, make sure that they fill out this form. Very, very important, please. I know some people are not doing it. I know you guys are doing it. But
Ask a
compliance,
question.
sure.
So this, we have to do this one and we have to do the supervision form for the province that we're supervising them in? We have to do one for Saskatchewan and we have to do this and BC and this? Is that what you're saying?
Well, but for this is what WMG is asking you to do. This is because you have to do it whether you're doing it for your province or not, you're still doing this. Okay,
So anyone that's supervised have to do two forms now.
and But there is not much here, to be frank with you. It's just to confirm that you have an eye on what they're doing.
Yeah, I figured that.
All right, so, and then, yeah, it's just more elaborate, that's what's been added to it at the end, at the beginning of this year. And, for the FNA, I mean, you already know all this, and I'm not teaching you anything, you can use the online one. That I like particularly because I don't like math, so it gives me the amount, so if you've never tried it, I encourage you to try it. And then the PDF one that you can download on the distribution center. Of course, you can still use whatever you are familiar or you are comfortable with, the third party or any FNA. I know some people, they create their own, Excel page, you can use it. As long as you have the bold information here on this slide, that's what sometimes we're not aware of. But make sure that they have all this bold information that is important for WFG, and you can use whatever you want as a disclosure form. So yes, this one, I suggest you do it at the beginning, okay? Many people don't do that, or they do it later on in the process, but it's better for you to do it upfront when you start meeting the client, the first meeting. Just do the disclosure form, just to confirm that you both can do business together, okay? You are licensed in the province they live in, you know how it goes sometimes, they will move, they will tell you, blah, blah, blah. Now we have more, what is that? We have more of our premium partners. So BMO is with us now. So you have to, of course, tell the client upfront which company you represent. And if you have your own contract, personal contract with other providers as non-life, who are not our providers, then yes, you have also to disclose that to the client. And then explaining to them what your relationship is with WFG, of course. You get your commission from WFG, they have to know, that's simple. And avoid any conflict of interest, because you have to sign this to confirm that you don't have any conflict of interest. Remember those 90 people who failed compliance at the beginning, I told you? Some of them wrote policy on cousin or people they never met. Okay, of course, they didn't make them. They signed also on behalf of the clients. Yes, sir.
Question about the disclosure form. Is it okay to have everything checked off when if you're doing insurance and investments? Anyways, like, you
Yes.
don't have to select everything.
No,
You just have
it's
to notify everything, right?
It's good that you disclose all the company you represent,
Perfect,
no matter which one they choose, because what? Guess what? They have the choice.
awesome.
Okay, it's just to be fair with them. And they might have a preference, you don't know, and they might put something in their head and say, hey, I can get travel for my grandma coming. When you told them Manulife, I can do travel, right? I'm just saying, I like that, like cross-selling. Anyway, so, yeah, so you have to sign to confirm that you don't have any conflict of interest. Now, this one is the wedding contract between you and the client. Yeah, because you have all the details, policy, provider, amount, every single thing about that coverage is on this letter. And what I like the most here is these 2 paragraphs, okay? Make sure you put as much as details on it. It's protecting you, it's protecting the client. If tomorrow they come back and say, you never told me, you know how we all have selective memory sometimes, Please put it down, don't hesitate. So the new version of this insurance sales package actually has more space where you can put a lot of information, so you get the most use of it. So this first paragraph, I know people don't read it, so I'm gonna read it for you today. So, the agent said, both you and your husband are young and healthy and are expecting your first child. I don't have a real accent, I'm from West Africa, so bear with me. You just bought a house, you are the sole income earner in the family, and you want an inexpensive option to pay off your mortgage if you die. Your outstanding mortgage is $250,000. So what is important for me here is an inexpensive option. That was the main concern of the client here because they only have one salary in the house and they're having a child and they're having a mortgage. It's a lot on one salary, right? So the agent was nice, good enough to put all those details. And then here is what he said, let's say, he suggested to meet that need, okay? He said, providing the coverage you want in the least expensive way, okay? So client reading this letter, you'll be like, okay, trust is built here. The client, the broker was listening to me. He's here to help me, right? So that's what I wanted to point. And what he also did here is he didn't even he didn't French, great. He did not only, right, provided the coverage the client was asking for, but he went above that, right? He gave them options. That's what I wanted to get. So you have to provide them a lot of options, don't just start at what they asked you. So what the agent did here, he suggested a 10-year renewable policy, which means the insurer will continue the coverage for 10 years, provided that you pay the premium each year, okay? So that's what he suggested to meet their non-expensive or inexpensive option. Now, if it was me, the agent, if I was the agent, I would add to that sentence that premium is going to increase after 10 years. You know, I don't want anybody to come to me 10 years later, you never told me. So if it was me, I'll add it, just to say that put as much information as you can. Now, the other thing that he said, you could extend the coverage with a longer term, but this is more expensive. So I'm guessing here that he suggested maybe a T20, 25, 30, depending on the length of the mortgage. So for me, it's a good thing because not only he provided something cheap for them, but also another option to say, hey, if you choose the longer term now, then maybe the premium will be locked. Not maybe, the premium will be locked for that length, you don't have to worry about it, right? So again, make sure that you put as much as detail in these two paragraphs. And then at the end, you have to put your contact, your email, phone number. And I know that we didn't provide a place here for the client to sign, but please make sure that client put their initial or sign this letter. They're going to review it and put a place where they sign. But make sure they put their initial or sign it. And also make sure you send a copy of this letter to them before the policy is delivered. Okay, or the latest at the time of the policy delivery, please, not after, yes.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, sometimes the policy comes back where it's not approved,
Yeah,
and so we could maybe have something that's out there that doesn't actually exist for.
yeah,
somebody.
it doesn't.
So at the time that the policy goes through is fine?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, or it can go before, because if it's not approved, it's not approved. Yeah, you have a letter that says that it's has been approved, you fine.
Okay.
And yeah, again, yes, so remember to send them a copy, very important. And this is actually the form itself. Oh, I put some types on, I was trying to type something. So you have more space in here than the one we had last year. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this just bucket. So LRD form, it's nothing here that you don't know already. If you're replacing a policy, it has to be for the best. Right? And you give them a copy of the new policy when you're doing the comparison with the old policy to see if all the benefit they have on the old policy, are they going to have it with this one as well? And if not, are they okay with that? Because at the end of the day, it's not only about the premium when we're changing the policy, it's also about the benefits. So are they okay with not having them? Can they afford the premium? Would there be a cancellation charge? Would that affect their tax income? All those questions are important. And please make sure that you're recording the answers on the recording them and making them sign up. Very important as well. Because you have to sign this one here to confirm that you did the exercise, you went through all the questions, and both of you decided that is still a better option to change the policy. And one thing also that I'd like to mention here is make sure they understand the implication, the different type of policies, especially when you are moving from old one, sorry, a different type like term to whole life, etc. Make sure they understand the difference. One thing also that I want to mention here. The premium, yeah, and the benefits. So illustration is one thing that changed a little bit at the beginning of the year. Now you have to do 2 illustration at least, and it has to be from 2 different companies. Unless the product is only available with one provider. And if it's the case, then you have to do different scales. Yeah,
Different amounts of insurance and types, is that what you mean, the different
yes,
scales?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do different type like whole life term, or you can do different amount of the same. Yeah. So the other good thing this year is that we know clients been complaining about too many signatures. So to make it easier, you can send them the illustration by email, and once they acknowledge reception of your email, then you do it. You don't need signature, make sense? Yeah. All right, and then the.
Question there,
Go ahead.
the illustration. You said that if it's not available from a different company, you can use the same company twice. They use the same company twice regardless, even if it is available from a different company.
No,
So as an example, two different illustrations from IA. Or you'd have to do one, say, IA and Equitable.
well, the best example I can give you is, if you're doing a non-medical, let's say CPP is the only one, so. There's SLI as well, but CPP with us is the only one that provide a non-medical, right?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, but let's say it's only with CPP, because I like.
So Everest would be a good example.
What if someone is like, we look through the underwriting data and have like some issues going on, it just makes sense that they just do it IA because the superior rating program, for example. Would it make sense to show them something from someone else if you know they're gonna get a rating there?
To the best of your ability, right? If you know, you sure that you don't get the same thing with other company. At the end of the day, just make sure that the idea behind it to give them more option, okay? And let them choose, let them have option, let them have choice. So if you can do 2 different companies and all different type or whatever.
Okay.
But because if there is another option from another company and you don't do that, compliance will ask you why. They will.
Like, for example, like Equitable Life, like people have like high blood pressure, they often get rated. Whereas like with IA, they would just get a standard rating. So most times I'll just go IA instead.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You are the financial advisor, you're suggesting the best to them, that's fine, you still get them the other illustration, it doesn't bound you to anything, you're just telling them. The reason why I'm suggesting this to you is because this is better for you.
Okay,
This is what you get from the other company.
I just didn't want to cause confusion with my clients too, right?
No, don't, yeah, just explain to them, it's for them.
Yeah.
And it's in their advantage that you give them option, and this is even good for you, if you show them one from that other company because of your condition, and then this one here.
Yeah.
That's why I'm suggesting this to you.
Okay.
So you mark a note there, it's like, this one, he knows what he's doing. So yeah, that's for the notes, nothing here, if you can use your own template if you want, as long as you're documenting everything. Please make sure that every meeting you have with your client, you document it, please, yeah? So,
Okay, so for example, like if we build like a gold, silver, bronze plan, I usually show 2 or 3 illustrations. Sometimes they're all from the same company. Is that okay, or do I have to show multiple companies?
I didn't understand the beginning, can you say that again, what about
When I build an insurance plan, or when I usually have 3 different options I build. Right, I'll have like a budget one, I'll have a middle ground one, that's usually what I'm going for, then I'll have one if they have extra budget or extra money. Right, gold, silver, bronze, I usually have 3 different illustrations, sometimes 2. but they're sometimes from the same company. Do I need to show multiple different companies on those illustrations? Or is it okay if I show multiple illustrations from the same company?
You can show as much as you can. You don't limit it to two. We say two, the minimum is
Yeah,
two.
but do they have to be from different companies?
They have to.
So I have. to
If
show-
the product is available with another company, then you should give them illustration from that company as well. That provider as well. Yeah, even though you give them three from I, just give them one more from, I don't know who. Or if you have to do another three from another.
So we need at least one from two.
Yes, yes.
Cause like sometimes it's just redundancy, like if we're doing a term plan, we generally know who's the cheapest term right now,
I got you.
so.
I'm on your side, I understand you.
Okay.
But compliance wise, you need to give them, why are you suggesting this company? And not the other one? Right?
Just have to be able to prove it on paper if somebody has questions.
Alright, that's it. Sounds good. Yep.
Yeah. So I feel you have been an agent myself, I feel you, but. And then privacy, one thing that compliant likes is this one, so please be careful when you're storing your documents. In Quebec, they have a completely different platform now that is called storage, client file storage, right, Ben? Client file storage, I'm not sure, maybe it's going to come here too. However, for now, you can store whatever you want as long as you're not holding a paper document at home. It's forbidden, forbidden. No paper at home. No, not even if you have office in your house, no. SMD office, please. Paper is SMD office, in the locked area. So I met in Quebec, I met an SMD say, I don't want any paper. I don't want any agent paper. Yes.
That works for us, and I know this is gonna probably be a question, so some people are nowhere near an office anymore, what, they just shred everything's online, is that what
Yeah.
I'm thinking?
Yeah. So that's what I was trying to say. The SMD say he doesn't want to handle anybody's paper, so don't bring me papers. So, yeah, sir.
Right, just clarify, we're good with OneDrive, like we could use OneDrive and that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to list the one that allowed. So you can do cloud storage, OneDrive for business. OneDrive, but it has to be for business. And then the third one, Dropbox. Yeah, so those three online are okay. And the Engage platform that we have on those.
Sorry, I pay for Microsoft 365, I have OneDrive like that, that's a separate thing. Do I have to go and buy the like Microsoft Business plan and use that OneDrive?
Sorry, sir, like I said, I'm not a tech savvy at all. What I've been told is, if somebody wants to say, it has to be for business, yes, and yes, you have to buy. For business, or you go Dropbox, or you go cloud, whatever I just said,
I think you're on the right track.
cloud storage. But then you save it on your computer, you don't have to go all the way there, right? You don't have to buy it and save it on your computer. Just make sure that you have a good password. Some people even go to the extent where they put password to the documents. Yeah, so you're good.
What if we just put it on a memory card? Just put it on a memory.
It has to be encrypted.
No, how do you call that? The hard drive? Yeah, no hard drive. No, this thing, how do we call it again?
Hard drive.
External.
Oh, yeah,
USB, yes.
somebody told him he's scripted, you know how to script it or whatever. No,
Password protected.
no.
I think one way to look at it is just how would you want your information stored? Right? How would you want your medical records stored? How would you want your financial information stored? As protected as possible. And so that's all they're asking.
And then remember, we are in an area now, like young people, they have their way, they can, yeah, you know, right? They can do whatever.
Alexis.
And I know there is a series on the Netflix going on about, know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, about hiking, it's a hockey, so don't take a chance, please. Sir, are you with me? Are we okay?
Yeah, sorry, I'm blind, I didn't
He's
see it.
blind.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm already doing all this stuff, I just wanna clarify.
Yeah. No hard drive. I know some people want to have like a backup on their hard drive and start, just don't do it. Yeah, don't put yourself at risk. You don't know who's gonna have their hand on it. Can be your kids, can be anybody. Trying, I don't know what. So that's it. That's the sales package for you. I'm not going to do the FNA. I know you guys are using it already. But if not, then you can reach out to me and we can do so. Yeah.
You mentioned one more time, what was the first option you mentioned, the cloud something?
Oh, cloud
That's what it's called.
Cloud storage. Yeah,
Cloud storage, is
Yeah.
that, like, that's a business, what is that?
cloud storage. iCloud. So,
one drive for business.
no, there is OneDrive for business, okay? Dropbox. And then cloud storage,
Okay,
those three.
so but no Google Drive,
No Google Drive.
good to know.
Yeah, you can use your computer, that would be the fourth one. The fifth one would be Engage platform on MyWFG. Right? If you wanna know more about it, reach out to me. It's not the greatest, it's not even an active one, but at least you can put all your documents, create your team, you know, whether they are prospect or client. I like it. It's not great, but I like it. It's a-
You don't have a soul.
I like it. It's good. Yes, sir.
So I do have a question, like, so if things are going the way they're going and we're going virtual and that kind of thing. And like, for example, you guys have our email that's end-to-end encrypted and you've got that all set up for us. Is there any thoughts or opportunities where WFG might create a platform or something that is set up where we can have our client information that is protected, and that way you guys can ensure it's protected? Like, do you have any thoughts or ideas about if that's something that direction you guys might go? Because like right now, we're just kind of figured out.
Like an insurance wind fund, basically.
Yeah, like take Wind Fund, expand it, make it so that we can upload documents tied in with.
That's my
America, like-
Engage I'm talking about. That's Engage.
Okay, but it's bad, right?
Why you saying it's bad?
That sounds bad. It's not good. It's not good, but.
Right word because my brain switched from my native language to French to English. But I said,
I heard that put ball.
Yeah, you did.
I said Engage is a good platform to store client document. However, you might have sometimes little issues. That's all.
Question just in regards to the investment side of things. So I got an audit from the review team on a tax-free savings account. So just in terms of like the processes for, if we're starting up a new tax-free savings account or we're doing pension transfer, we would follow similar processes with a disclosure letter and our notes, all that sort of stuff. But in terms of like a reason why letter, templated, like we have one that we've created, but is there one that is expected for us to be using?
Yes, and I know some people use this one too. The borrow this one is fine. This works really.
Okay.
As long as it explains what we're doing and why.
Exactly, yeah, document.
Clear,
Yeah.
better, so, okay.
But many people use this one for the insurance sales package. You can use that.
Right.
Yeah. Again, Engage is good. You should take you should schedule a time with me. I'll show you how great Engage is.
Talking to you, Danielle.
Look, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that-
Schedule a training with me. I'll show you.
No, that's fair.
Like, I love it. I love it. And hopefully soon, client file storage will be spread also to the rest of Canada. I think it's a good one. Do you like it so far, Ben? Say yes.
Yes.
We trying, people, we trying hard. And I promise you,
Works well.
2024 is a year of a lot of improvements.
Oh, don't worry, Bananas would tell us the same thing.
Don't worry about it.
We don't talk about that. That's inside.
Alright, so next, we have your question, I'll be happy to, thank you so much, you guys been very nice, and any
Yes.
question?
You got a bunch on the chat.
Oh, I have a
Yeah,
question, we have a question here
Yeah.
too. I'm talking on my assistant.
Yeah, if you can help me with it.
You don't need reason wise for investments, right? Just for insurance still?
Just for insurance,
Just
sales,
for insurance, right?
sales package, but like I'm saying, some people are using it for investment.
You can, but you,
You can, yeah, you can, and I recommend it, let's say that.
There's one up there for you.
Yeah. What's the question?
Can we include a reason why letter, why we have three options for the same company? We kind of went over that. Sorry,
Can we include, we
sorry, there's like 400.
only have, we have.
Oh, it's questions it's in the chat.
What does it mean? Can we include the reason why? Make sure I understand the question. Okay, I don't know if you have time for all this, you can send them to me.
I want to.
there's a
And,
Yeah. Risk profile equal reason why? Probably not. There's a bunch, it's all in there. If you. Travel.
Insurance domestic to the insurance says, oh, yeah, even if it's travel insurance, we're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it's called insurance, you're doing it. I know it's cheap. Travel insurance is cheap, but you're still doing it. Does the risk profile cover all that? What is that?
But it's a risk profile, your money invested, if it went down, would you freak out? It's just 8 questions.
What the heck?
What is happening now?
Mike is doing.
Yes.
I didn't have coffee today, so.
Doing great.
I
Doing
was-
great.
It's like, what is happening?
Questions are at the bottom right now, the bottom right.
Oh, here now? Yeah, we already talked about this one, yeah.
Yeah, and then they
I can download for business for some reason, like that. Can download for business.
That's the
What is
one.
business? You can download for business. Somebody understand that? I can download for business.
That's probably the OneDrive one. The OneDrive.
Oh,
Cloud storage, you suck.
like I said, just use your computer and put password, that's it. Like, you don't know why you.
What? Well. Dropbox is.
Anytime it's always like sign in with your Microsoft password and that.
The timeline is still 5 days, when they get sent an email, they have 5 days to respond, is that still the timeline that is?
I am not even aware of what is fine.
When the review from the audit team, to the advisor.
So that's what I do. You guys check with the I think they're expecting you to reach out to them.
And then,
But reach out to them, like, he knows that, they really know, and especially Bernard, Jean-Bernard. Last time I brought those issues.
I don't think you make it enough money, you can put it.
Yeah, I don't.
I think one of
But so
the, everything was on the different. CC all those.
So then this guy.
Yes, just reach out to them. Any other question? Yes? It's not like, I don't know if I can go back to my previous slide, but you have my email, Nadia.Klussey, KLUSSEY @firsamerica.com, or you go to my WFG. Don't even bother. Go to the search engine tab, BPC, Business Productivity Consultant. I'm at the very bottom, just, travel with me, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever works for you. Do we have more questions to answer? In sort of, I only went to IR because I know they will pass.
Yeah, it's the same questions.
The password is it?
I think you're good. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a sales package online where you can access each component. Yeah, so just type it in the search engine. I think it's on, if I'm not wrong, you can find it under business distribution center. Yeah, the document under distribution center. You might find it separated. I think it's distribution center in the toolkit. And thank you for waiting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, now here to the, oh, huh? Okay, book another time with me. We'll do one-on-one. Yes, Sina. Yeah. Oh, okay, Nadia.Cluse@transamerica.com. That's my email.
Awesome, thank you.
I think.
Yeah, lots, thank you.
Yeah, all right,
I think we're good.
I'm done.
We'll do recognition at 6:30 in here, so if anybody wants to call your teammates,